I'm pretty sure it's about 100 degrees today. Just got the blind set up. We used to hunt against the edge of the woods, but we've watched all these bucks travel up and down this waterway here. So we mowed a path here to entice them to travel on this east side. And we've got this full of cottonwoods, willows, cattails, so I've got a bunch of Roundup and chainsaw. I want to clear some of these out to make a little better shooting lane and to entice them to come through this opening a little more so we can hunt this blind out here in the wide open with a west-southwest wind. But this fall, it should definitely pay off. Put in the hard work now, sweat and blood, it's gonna pay off. I just bought another truck full of M25s made by Millennium. It's the best tree stand that we've got for a simple, easy lock-on, very comfortable, allows us to sit all day sits. And as much time as we spend in the woods, that's what we need, is comfortable tree stands. But more importantly is a lifeline. I actually fell from the stand last year. As soon as I stepped on it, the straps broke and I wasn't actually hooked into the tree yet. Although I didn't get hurt, it could have turned out bad, but it would have never happened if I was wearing a lifeline. From the time you leave the ground all the way till you reach the platform, you're always hooked in. So that's my best advice to you guys for staying safe out there. My season and or life could have been over last year just due to not buying a simple $40 rope. So stay safe, have a good year, enjoy this season.
Here's a quick tip for you avid bow hunters. When you're waxing your strings, as we all know, it's very important. Go out and buy a piece of leather. So when you're rubbing your wax on your strings, you can take your leather, wrap it around the string and rub it, and you can get that wax a lot hotter so it can absorb into the string. Another thing I like to do when the wife's gone or your girlfriend's gone, you can steal her hair dryer, take your wax, rub it in the cable or on your wheels there, because a lot of people don't know that on your cables and on your strings where it's wrapped, you need to get that wax in there. So here's a good tip: take your hair dryer and rub your wax in there, and then you can melt the wax in, and that way it has the time to absorb into the string.
Here's a quick tip on fine-tuning your accuracy. When shooting your bow, accuracy is key. So what you want is multiple anchor points to ensure that you're pulling to the same spot every time. So what we did on my wife's bow here was add a kisser button along with her peep, and then she touches the string to the end of her nose. So right there are 3 multiple anchor points.
Out of one of my spots here, gonna walk over this corner, check trail camera. Something I like to do for precaution. I mean, it makes me feel better. Feel like, because you don't want to leave that scent in the woods even if it's early season, and especially more towards October. So what I like to do is always wear a pair of rubber boots, have a pair of gloves, and always have a bottle of scent spray with you, even in the early season, because like I said this morning, I had McDonald's. Well, you know that scent's on your hand, and you don't want to leave that on your trail camera, because then that deer is going to not get used to that scent, and there's always going to be that scent there. So the buck's never going to be able to get comfortable. So you always want to make sure, I always like to make sure that I spray my boots down, spray my hands down before I go into where my trail camera is, to make sure I don't leave that scent. So we're going to go check this trail camera. All right, this is where scouting comes in a key. This is a new property to me. Didn't know the layout great. Had been seeing some big bucks in this front bean field. Well, they disappeared. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, they're gone already. Well, come lo and behold, if you follow this bean field around, there's actually a secluded corner back in here. There's no roads, nobody driving by. Come back here, tons of big buck sign, tracks everywhere. So you know. So what he did basically, he got tired of people seeing him on the road, having run off. Now basically it looks like to me he's come back in this secluded corner. He's probably got a bedding area. He's got a bedding area back here not too far. Some oaks, a little bit of water, and a secluded bean field where he can be back here in peace. Nobody bother him. He can just do his thing. So new trail cam set up right here. Hopefully we'll get him back on camera.
All Alright guys, I just want to show you this little gym I mowed in here. My tip is long and narrow food plots. This food plot's actually inside of another one of my food plots. I kind of let run rampant. What we're missing out here is cover on our farm, so a lot of corn, sunflowers, we've got beans in between there, and also sorghum. So I'm providing for pheasants as well. But this is going to be my little kill plot, and what it does is my sanctuary's over here. It's a nice narrow strip. I'm creating edge. Deer love to travel edges, and it basically comes up and comes within 10 yards of my tree stand. It'll help funnel the movement. This is a 4-acre plot. Hopefully what I'm counting on is it's going to funnel the movement right up next to my stand. So that's my tip for you guys today. My stand is right there in that big tree. So that big tree right there, that's where I'll be sitting at. But yep, so that's my tip for you guys. Good luck, get those fall plots planted. This is gonna be, like I said, harvest salad. So maybe a little plot topper in there. So good luck guys. Test your pH.
This time of year, here in the summer months, you see a lot of people cutting shooting lanes. And not saying that's a bad thing to do, but I do recommend always being careful because you can cut too much. You'll see in February and beginning of March, we like to hang our tree stands. We'll move our tree stands, hang new tree stands, etc. And we'll cut very minimal in the late season there, or in the February, March months. But as a whole, that's what you really need to focus on and see that spot in February or March, knowing what it looks like bare. You need to see what it looks like bare, and you need to see what it looks like full of foliage. So then whenever the green does come on, you know, don't trim too much. You trim too much, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And for us, that is not an option. Especially setting 2 people in a tree at a time, you can cut too much. Well, when it comes to summer months and getting pictures of velvet bucks on your trail camera, one thing that I found to be really helpful is when you're driving down the road, your pickup truck is your ultimate tool. Your pickup truck, car, whatever, and your binoculars. Find that buck that you're after or you're looking to watch or get trail camera pictures of, and from a distance mark the trees that he's coming out of, that he's coming out by or going into, and visually mark that or take a picture of it, etc. from the road, and then, you know, go in middle of the day or something and hang your trail cameras there. What I like to do is use a stick and pick. I use a stick and pick right on the edge of the soybean field, and like I said, I mark a couple trees that they're close to, and this has helped me big time in getting pictures of those velvet bucks. And once again, I like to stay out of their bedding area. Never at all year long do I go in a deer's bedding area unless it's you know, shed season. I like to give the deer as much sanctuary as possible. I know everybody's got their own opinions and ideas, but this has played a huge role in the success that I've had anyways.